who's tuned in and is watching us tonight. So welcome to our final instalment of this Instagram live series that we are trialing. So today I have the wonderful Heidi Clevett with me, and she is lighting the way for women in the maritime industry. So after spending all of her career in the maritime industry, Heidi has an extensive experience both working on board vessels at sea and in the Merchant Navy, and also working ashore within the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency. She currently works as a vessel traffic manager, currently as the head of the technology team. Her incredible work in STEM has led to her being nominated and actually winning the Women in STEM IWP award this year. So yeah, Heidi's also conducted some amazing charity work in her spare time for brain tumour research. She raised a whopping £6,500 after the unfortunate passing of her mum. So Heidi, you talk a lot about the power of determination and positivity. Do you reckon you could give me an example of when you've had to draw upon these powers yourself?
Yeah, sure. I guess like taking it back like 15 years ago, like just starting out in the maritime industry, working on board ships, it was a very different environment to where I work now. And I think like, at the time I was the only female on board the vessels that I was sailing on. I think I only sailed with one other female once the entire time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is tough, and it's like as a female, you sort of feel, I suppose, a bit more judged by things. So like, I wanted to work harder, work longer hours. You push yourself out a bit more, just so you don't like get the stereotypical like, oh, she's a girl and she's not doing it. So obviously doing all of that, and you have to be determined to succeed in it, I suppose, and you have to be able to sort of push yourself that in that way. And I think it is different now. I think that was obviously like 10-15 years ago. Things have changed now, but it definitely, I learned a lot from that time, and having to sort of push myself in that way and be that determined. But yeah, I think I've got a story of like just an example of when I worked at sea, and before we had bad weather, we always used to have to cover the portholes with a big steel like cover. Really, and I worked with lots of Filipino deck crew, and they were like, oh no, like we'll always carry them, and all of the male cadets would be like, yeah, carry mine, it's fine. And I was like, no, I'm carrying mine. Like, I never let them carry it, and they always used to laugh at me. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't want to be that stereotypical like, oh yeah, everyone can just do things for me. So and I think that's where it does teach you to be quite determined, but so
yes, strong-minded.
Yeah, and I guess exactly.
Just because they can do it doesn't mean you want them to do it. You want to show them that you can do it.
Yeah, and I suppose bringing it kind of back to the present day as well, and obviously like with everything happened, like losing my mum, and being like I could have found that their situation was obviously really difficult and a really uncomfortable place to be, and really sad, and I just wanted to try and build something positive from it, and and do something with that. So
so you talk a lot about sort of the stereotypes that you encountered, especially at the beginning, being a woman in a very male-dominated sector. So what made you sort of stick working in maritime despite having to constantly fight these stereotypes?
Good question. I guess I think I think it's quite nice not to be put into a box of any type. You can be a woman at sea, or a woman in engineering, or whatever you want to do, and I think it's really important to do that. And I suppose I learned a lot from my daughter as well recently with she loves being really girly and dressing up, wearing dresses, but she'll go out with like her dress on and then her DMs and want to jump in muddy puddles, and I think like it's a good thing, like you're not just in a box of like being a girly girl or not being a girly
Yeah.
girl. You know, you can be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to like, you know, not like, you know, see yourself just in one way. Like you can do
Yeah.
anything you wanted to do. And it might just mean that you need to be a bit more determined, or you need to work a little bit harder. But you know, that kind of thing, you know, you can do it. Like, and I suppose it's just, you know, sort of proving to myself, or you know, and just doing that. You know, it's something that I was, you know, I really like love the maritime industry. Like I love the sea,
Yeah.
and it was something I wanted to do, and I knew that was where you know, I wanted my career to be, and I wanted to work in that. And so I just did it, and I just didn't really think about, you know,
Yeah.
how difficult it was at the time.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it, isn't it? Just go for it straight and just deal with sort of whatever comes your way. Just prove people wrong. I love doing that.
Yeah.
So you were an award recipient this year for, I believe it was the first year we have done the Women of STEM award. So what did being nominated actually mean to you?
I think the whole night was just unbelievable. Like it was lovely. And like everyone said, I watched loads of these other like interviews that you've done, and everyone said, "Oh, I didn't think I was going to get it at all." Like, but you just totally don't think that.
Yeah.
Like it's so true. But I think I said on the night, like that, you know, the last couple of years has been really difficult, you know, for everyone. I think, but like, I think it's been particularly difficult for anyone who's lost someone or had someone in hospital, because it's just, you know, it's not been the last couple of years, like the, you know, care and things that, you know, nothing's been as it would normally be. And being in hospital was totally different, you know, like you can only have like one, you know, I can only visit my mum for 1 hour a day and only one visitor. So it's really tough. It was a really tough time. And, you know, like, as I said, like for anyone, I think it's been tough. Everything's been very different. And, you know, we haven't been able to enjoy the things we normally would enjoy. And just being there in that room was so lovely. I think they just created such like a it felt like a really safe space. It was just a really atmosphere. You know, normally I hate doing any speeches or anything, and I actually hadn't prepared at all because I was totally like, it's never gonna happen. Like, I couldn't even believe I've been nominated, and I was just like, this is so, I was so unexpected of it all. Like I hadn't even worked out how to get up to the stage, and I was like right at the back.
Oh
no! And I was like trying to get around everyone. I was like, oh, so, But I, you know, it felt like such a safe space that I was like, I'm just gonna do a speech, because I know they said like, oh, you don't have to. I was like, no, I'll do it.
Sometimes you just got to do it. You get up there and you're just like, oh, actually, this is incredible. I'm gonna share my appreciation with all these wonderful people. And I think, it's always great when people do their speeches, just because it's nice to hear from them, because otherwise you sort of go up, collect the award, sit back down again.
But also I think like this whole year for me has been, I suppose, quite an uncomfortable place, and I was like, I suppose, you know, you could like, and a lot of people would be as well, just like, you know, you could hide away from things, and you know, some people would need to do that for their own mental health, but I thought, you know, it's not a great place to be. It's like it has been a really difficult year, and I thought, you know, it is still a place that you can learn from, and you can turn it into something positive, and you can do something with it. So
Oh, it's great though, because you can then express yourself in such a safe environment, as you said. Like, it feels really safe at the awards, and that's sort of the vibe we sort of go for. And it's great just to be surrounded by women who are supporting women. It's such a good place to be, for, even mentally, for people. Just being in the room, being surrounded by all these people that are just all your cheerleaders. Like, they may have never met you, but they're there and they're supporting you, and it's just it's wonderful. I love doing the awards, to be
even if you don't hear anything, like you can just feel it in like the atmosphere is just really, like you said, really warm. It's lovely. Everyone's just there for you, and it's wonderful.
think it's great to do these awards. It's just wonderful. So I'm heading male-dominated sector. That's sort of where my career is taking me. So do you have any advice for sort of like other young people who are trying to sort of work their way into the sectors that they wouldn't normally have been, you know, back a few years ago, wouldn't be deemed acceptable?
Yeah, like I am a totally different person to who
Yeah.
I was like 10 years ago. But I think it is from learning and like being in those situations and just, you know, having to deal with it. I think particularly when you work, like you live on board a ship. Like I'd be on board ship for 4 months at a time. Like
Yeah.
there is no one there, like there's no one there to like go back to in the evening and go and like chat about your day with or anything. So
Yeah.
you have to like really learn it, like in like probably the hardest way. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say like definitely like I always think stand your ground.
Yeah.
And like really believe in yourself. I always think like with guys, like I think they like generally. I think I don't know if it was something at work, but somewhere I've heard it, and they were saying that, you know, when they like send out a job application, like a lot of men will see it and say like, oh, I can do a couple of those things. Like, yeah, definitely, I'll go for it. And whereas women will sit there and they'll need to know that they can do like at least 60% of that job before they even think about applying.
Yeah.
And I think it is really true. Like men probably, like generally, I think do have that like that more belief in it. I don't know what it is, but and I do feel that like women a lot of the time don't, like they're very humble about it, or they just don't like believe in themselves, I suppose, quite as much. And like question their ability unless they know like fully, like I know everything about this subject and I'm like totally fine. But yeah, so I think definitely believe in yourself. I think that's so important. And like keep learning as well. You know, I think like I suppose it sort of comes back to the situation with my mum as well, that I think, you know, there is always something you can learn from a situation.
Yeah.
Like no matter how difficult it is, you know, like when I was on ship and things were difficult, you know, big obstacles that you have to like, you know, deal with all the time. And I think, you know, yes, those situations are difficult, but at some point you'll look back on them and they won't be anywhere near as bad as you felt at the time. And I think, you know, like just reminding yourself that and thinking, you know, like I can learn from this, and in a year's time this will be totally different when I look back on it. And there's always obstacles, isn't there, for our life to have to deal with. And I always think it's the way, it's not obviously, you know, it's just something that you have to deal with at the time, but it's, you know, it's how you deal with it and how you perceive it in yourself that will kind of change the narrative later on in life. Which is kind of what I did, as I said, like with my mum stuff, like, and, you know, losing my mum, I thought, you know, it changes the narrative for me looking back on that time, because now there's something a bit more positive about it. But yeah, going back to the question, I think, I mean, there's always something you can learn from a situation, and I think it's really good to like always look at like your, like as you go along, like look at your strengths and weaknesses. Don't be afraid of your weaknesses. Like if there's something you don't know, that's not you know, that's not wrong, that's not a problem. And the first thing is identifying it, and when you know that you don't know it, you know, then you can start to learn it, and you can start to use it as an opportunity to grow and develop a bit more. And I think that's really important, because people are really scared of like, oh, it's something I don't know, so I just won't look at it, or I won't do that part. And I think don't do that. Like uncover, like learn, like find out what you don't know and learn about it. And you can ask like other people to do that for you. You can like do it by yourself, like just go through things that you're, you know, if you're feeling like worried or nervous about something, you know, why are you feeling nervous about it? Why are you worried about it? You know, what is it that you maybe don't know that you need to uncover? And I think yeah, a really good thing as well. Just keep learning, developing.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I know, I found it this year. First year at uni, I was like, oh, actually, there is some stuff I really actually just don't know, but that's okay not to know it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll ask other people. And then the stuff that I'm not very good at, it's like my friends at uni, they are better at. And the things that they're not so good at, I'm good at. And it just works out really well. You just got to be able to ask for that support. I often find that sort of people struggle, especially when they know, like, oh, I'm surrounded by, like, I find it sometimes in groups where I'm just surrounded by men. I'm like, I don't want to seem like the weak link here. I want to, you know, be on the same, show that I am on the same level as you. But it's being able to turn around and be like, oh, actually, I don't know how you got your answer. How can you teach me? And it's all just learning to accept that everything is a learning curve.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What is it you're studying?
Chemistry.
Nice.
Didn't choose an easy subject, but why would you do that?
That's great.
Oh, so we are reaching the point in the interview where I have to ask I'm going to call it my trademark question come this point, because this is literally what it is. Everyone dreads it. Oh, Jazz is going to ask me to do an interview. She's going to ask me this question, but it's okay. So if you had to choose someone, just one person, I know it's hard because people have tribes of people who inspire them, but if you had to choose, who inspires you?
I know, I saw you when you were asking this question to everyone else, and I was thinking, oh, it's so hard.
It's such a horrible question, and I hate asking it, but also it really makes you think. So it
does. Yeah, exactly. Because I suppose you have like loads of different people that inspire you in different stages of your life, or like different aspects of your life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does make you think, because you're like, who is it right now that's like?
I would really struggle to pick one person. I'd really have to think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be cliche to say my daughter, but she does, like you said, she does inspire me, because she's like totally like just wild and totally like herself, which I think brings out the inner child in you, doesn't it? But I don't know. No, I probably would say like I have this fitness coach, and she's like so enthusiastic about her work. Like, and I think if you can ever be enthusiastic about something, like you'll just drag people in, like anyway. But yeah, and I think I was watching Claire's one actually the mindful movement one last week. And I thought it's so similar, because you know the way she does things is like my fitness coach as well. It's like it's all about movement for your mind, and not, you know, it's not just about like how you look, but it's how you're feeling like when you're doing it, and you know what you can do, not you know what you look like, or just about your body, which I think is really important. And it definitely helped me complete the challenge of walking 65 miles around the Isle of Wight.
I read that. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of miles.
I know, so I thought I wanted to do something to raise some money. Yeah. And like try and make a difference. And I thought I could do like 10k run, or the Great South Run, and then I thought like, no, I want to do something like that really pushes me. And when I found that challenge, I was like, this is it, I'm going to do this.
The Isle of Wight is beautiful though, so I mean you must have seen some pretty like amazing sort of sights.
It was lovely.
Went round.
The whole first day was like really sunny. So weather. Yeah, it was really nice. We finished in like the rain. And we were both, like, I was
saying, you didn't start in the rain.
Yeah, we started off lovely, and then it like went downhill.
I mean, British weather for you. You can never guarantee it.
I know, yeah. But...
yeah. Cool. It's been wonderful talking to you tonight. Thank you so much for giving up your time to sort of jump on and have a little chat with me. I'm sure everyone's enjoyed hearing your story, and I'm sure there's some young people out there who are interested in going into such fields that will actually find great inspiration from watching this video. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for everyone who has watched tonight, and thank you for anyone who has actually joined us for all 4 of the videos that have occurred in this series. It's been wonderful having you sort of tune in and learn things about the amazing women we have in Portsmouth. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. This video will be up on Facebook at some point tomorrow. So if you want to catch up on it, and it will be in the archive section of the Instagram page. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.